right, we've passed 50. It's on to the next 50. I'm starting to go international, and my first international guest has come on with a slick haircut, clean face, a dress-up shirt, and I've worn a gray sweatshirt, and my hair is quite messy and unshowered. Jack Robinson from lmsukmedia. How are you?
I'm very well. It's Josh Robinson, though.
What do I keep saying?
Jack.
Why do I keep saying Jack? I don't know if I know a Jack Robinson. Josh. Sorry about that. I'm so terrible with names.
That's all right,
But
man.
Josh, tell people who you are, what you do, and all that kind of stuff.
So my name's Josh Robinson. I run a business called LMS UK Media, and we're a music events and promotion company based in the south of England.
So how long has LMS been going on for now?
We've been going on now for 4 years. It's been a hell of a ride. We've had almost been bankrupt. We've done huge shows. We've done loads of stuff, and it's been crazy. And it's starting to really settle out now. And we're taking a lot of my team full time next year, which is a mad time to be doing it, but also really exciting.
Yeah. You mentioned that before we got started here. How have you guys thrived in the pandemic? Because I'm not sure how much different it is for you guys over there versus how it is here in Canada. But like, how have you been able to manage to expand and grow your operations during this time?
It's a great question. The first 2 weeks in March, it was panic because we're like, right, we can't put any events on. We've got staff all across the UK, and we now can't put events on. So what are we going to do? So we kind of went back to basics really. And when we started out as a business, we just wanted to promote localize. That's all we wanted to do. Get backstage, interview them, do photos, videos. We stumbled across the events and we went, right, let's go back to basics here. Let's run social media accounts for musicians. So we charge £100 for small artists and then a bigger fee for what we call major clients, which are like record labels. And we run their social media and we make them professional. We put them branding. We give them opportunities to perform on live streams over this time. And it's gone crazy. I mean, at the start of the pandemic, we had 6 members of staff and we're now looking at nearly 25. And it's just gone boom. And we've got clients in America, in France, in Australia. I mean, it is mental what has happened, and a massive credit to my team.
No, that's wonderful to hear. So you mentioned social media. What exactly kind of stuff are you guys doing for these artists' social medias?
Well, classic musicians on a local level will just like spend so much time perfecting a new single, and they've been to the studio and they've recorded it, and they've put so much effort into it, and then they'll go, here's my latest single, and they'll do an Instagram post. I think that's it. And it's just going to fall on deaf ears. Like you do 30 hours to record a single and then you spend 3 minutes promoting it and then you wonder why it doesn't get any streams. It's obvious. You need people to promote it and put it into the right places. And we get them radio plays. We get them doing lives in front of big people. We connect them. So we ask them when they're onboarding, what's your dream venue? What's your dream record label? Who would you like to support? And obviously we go backstage at all the major UK festivals. We know the management for these big artists and we just get people in touch. I mean, that's a big part of the job. And we go back to basics, like have a really nice HD image on your social media. What's Instagram used for? It's pictures, right? Let's utilize it for that. Twitter is about opinions, engaging with people. Let's use that. And and we teach artists marketing. We do it for them, but we also teach them, which I think is a major reason why we build up such a personal relationship with everyone we work with.
Well, I think it's interesting that you're not only running, but you're teaching. A lot of what these kind of marketing social media associated companies do, especially over here in Canada, is a lot of them do it for the artists, but don't really allow them to have the skills and gain the knowledge to do it themselves independently if they were to no longer work with said company. So I actually commend you highly on that, because something that I thrive for and I strive for as well with me working with some artists is my goal is to consult and grow and teach an artist how to do something on their own without having to pay someone else to do it. You pay me to help you at first, but my goal is so you don't have to keep coming back to me.
Spot on. And the thing is as well, it improves our service massively, because if you're teaching them and they're growing and they're learning about it, they come back to us and go, oh, we could do this, or I've researched this. And it improves the whole business, because once someone comes with us, Instagram Reels has been a great example. Some artists went to us, oh, I've done one, it got really good exposure. And we've taken that and rolled it across all of our clients, and we're seeing such a massive result from that. And that's just the transparency of, caring for the client and teaching them.
And so this company's been going on a few years now. Take me back to the beginning of all this. How did LMS come to be?
So I was in college. I had another business called Angel Clothing, and it was 50-50, me and another guy called Fernando, brilliant business guy. We were like 17 years old. It went really well, but he kept bringing more and more people into the business, and my control went smaller and smaller. And that's when we started LMS UK Media. And we literally just wanted to put on, like, go backstage, do some photos, do a few reviews. And then a college lecturer, Dom and Alec, were like, on our course, we had to do an event. So we did an event and it went really, really well. And we were like, okay, right, this was really enjoyable. Let's do live events, let's do live music. I was 18, I was fresh faced, let's go into it, let's try it. And I kid you not, in that first year, we put on 6 shows. And I think 4 of those shows, there was more people on stage than in the audience. And it's one of them horrible feelings where, like, um, people, friends and family were telling me, you'll be successful, but this isn't it. Don't do music. Don't do this. Don't do that. And once people said that to me, it was like, right, I'm going to prove them wrong. I'm going to go out and do this now. And the rest is history. We put on, huge shows for BBC Radio 1 artists. We've done, major, major stuff. We've expanded to all these cities across the UK, and we really feel like a major player. And the first few years, it was never about the money. I couldn't care less. People always assume entrepreneurs and business people with greedy, they want money, they want the nicest cars and stuff. And it's never been about that. For me, it's freedom. I want to work for myself. And I hate the word employees. So, like, we say team members at our place because they're not employees. They're here to add value to the business, but also themselves. And it's not like a 9 to 5 job, but extremely flexible. We have people working for us across the UK and other countries as well, thanks to COVID, if anything, because we've learned how to cope with that. And yeah, it's been brilliant.
So would you say that in a way COVID kind of helped your business gain not only international recognition but also the ability to expand what you're doing?
100%. No, there's no doubt about it. If you would have had this interview with me 8, 9 months ago, it'd be a very different interview. And COVID's forced us to adapt, improve. We had to really look ourselves in the mirror and go, right, how can we improve the service? What can we do? And we've managed to do that. And, it's been a blessing in disguise, really. And we've had 2 lockdowns here in the south of England, and both times we've come out so much stronger than we went in, which is crazy because I would have thought that clients would leave or they want to save their money, but we're teaching them this is an opportunity. We've grown in it, so can you.
So you guys just went back into a second lockdown. What exactly is that looking like for the landscape over there right now?
So events and pubs and music venues all completely shut again. And now they've reopened literally in the last few days. And the rules are it's 50% capacity if you're a small music venue. The maximum you can do indoors is 1,000. The maximum you can do outside is 2,000. Socially distanced if applicable. Masks on, etc. There's a lot of regulations we have to go through, but it's one step closer to normality.
So you guys can actually run and operate shows right now.
Yeah.
And see, that's why Canada fucking sucks, because Canada can't do that right now. Because it's rumored that Canada is probably going to be going back into lockdown. Our numbers are going up. We're averaging, I think they're estimating 6,000 cases a week. I don't know what are the numbers looking like over on your side.
I wouldn't be. I'm not entirely sure. They were getting progressively worse. That's why we went into a second lockdown, and they're quite worried about Christmas because they want to give UK families the freedom to see people. But I think a lot's riding on these vaccines, which are literally coming into the UK today. They've literally come in today, and they're rolling that out, which hopefully will make a massive difference. The major festivals in the UK are hoping to be at full capacity in the summer, which is amazing news if it can happen. But we've got promoters in Cardiff in Wales who are like you and can't do anything. We can't even plan a show there, which is frustrating to say the least.
No, absolutely, and especially for Canada, because basically, I'm not sure how familiar you are with Canadian geography, but I live in a province of the province of Ontario, near Toronto,
Yeah.
and with the province specifically, like we're only allowed 10 indoors, 25 outdoors, absolutely no live events, no live music, no like comedians, none of that kind of shit.
Wow.
And it's driving most of Canadian music industry not only insane, but we're losing a vast majority of our venues.
Yeah.
So by the time things can actually come back into play, we're it's going to be a significantly limited amount of what we can and can't do.
And it does suck because there's ways around it. There's ways to put on live music and make it safe. There's no doubt in my mind about it. If a proper procedure's there and that it can be rolled out efficiently, there's no reason why it can't. And it's something that needs to be looked at. And over here, I'm hoping that it will lead the way because people can kind of see, right, it's been done, it's done properly, and that can kind of spread throughout the US and Canada as well. I mean, we haven't got any clients in Canada as of yet. That's something I definitely love to get involved with and be with to work and support with them because before the pandemic, UK venues were shutting down and they weren't getting the support they needed. And I think it was a massive wake up call for us and a lot of people we've been involved with has worked with venues and crowd, raising funds and supporting them through this time.
So prior to COVID, talk to me about the UK music scene in general. Like, what were attendance numbers like? Were you guys selling out venues? Were you like only selling out a couple shows every month? Like, tell me more about the overall culture because I know it's such a general shift between there and here.
Yeah, I mean, it literally varies from city to city. So we're based in Portsmouth, but Southampton is just down the road, and people's attitudes are so different, even though they're so close. I mean, in Portsmouth, people kind of tend to go up. In Brighton, for example, people will literally only buy on the day on the door. So you think, fuck, no one's going to turn up to my show, and then hundreds of people come, which is crazy. Southampton, we found people bought really early. You'd release a show and it'd be sold out in a few days, which is amazing because it, as a promoter, it gives you a bit of relief. Like, okay, there's a lot of people there. We've just got to make sure it runs smoothly. London is brilliant. I mean, as always, it's always a test in terms of pricing and stuff. Things are so expensive there, but in terms of numbers, you'd always be pretty confident with that. There's a great
And
the people really love live music here. There's definitely been a shift in genre. I mean, a few years ago when we started, house and techno was massive. Now it's R&B. Personally, I love my indie alternative rock kind of music. That's kind of my kind of scene. And it does vary. It really does.
so who are some of the artists that you've been working with and worked with in the past?
We've worked. There's so many. Honestly, we have so many promoters in different cities. I don't know where we start. If we're looking at kind of the biggest artists we've worked with, there's two sides to it. There's the social media side. We've interviewed Arctic Monkeys, The Kooks, Two Door Cinema Club. I mean, huge UK artists, and we've worked with massive bands on their social media and putting them in the right areas. And then the event side, we look at a lot of DJs, BBC Radio 1, House and Techno. We've done a few indie big bands, definitely in Portsmouth. And once we get shows back into COVID, we don't just want to do our big shows in the south. We want to expand them everywhere. I want to conquer the UK, and then I will be looking abroad to right, what's our best options? Where can we go from here? Because I think I'd love to. It's one of them where you fail your way to success. We'd probably come to Canada, do a few shit shows, understand it a lot better, and then do a lot better and work and communicate properly. That's what's happened here. If I'm being honest with you, we found our place for that first year, and then it picks up.
Well, I think that's also just a universal thing for like promoters and show organizers because it's literally about trial by fire, figuring it out as you go. You make some shit mistakes, you do some shit shows, and then eventually you start figuring out a formula that works. Do you guys kind of have one or two kind of formulas that works per show, or is it literally city to city?
Yeah, I mean, over the years, I've got an amazing event manager called Ben Cranny, and what he's done is he's got literally a tick list of about 20 to 30 things on there, and me and him go through for every single one of the LMS UK media shows and tick them off. And once we've got to the bottom of that list, we look at each other and we go, right, we're confident 80% will sell once we've done these things, and that list is always evolving. I mean, the most recent one we've added is looking at streaming, so we might put a show on in the UK and stream it to people in Canada for a much cheaper price who couldn't go there. I think that's definitely a way the industry is looking in the next kind of 2 years.
Are you guys going to get more involved in the live streaming kind of shows? Like, are you investing in like tech to do it? Or are you working with production companies? Like, what's the general kind of landscape for you in the future?
All of the above. We're going to be testing out live streaming shows as well as social distance shows in December and January, and then roll out in February and March. So it's a really exciting time because it's something we've not done before, and I think the whole industry has been woken up to it. The music industry on the whole has not changed in the 50, 60 years. Realistically, you buy a ticket for a show, you go, you get scanned, you go in, you watch sport apps, you watch the IS, you go home. It's not changed. Something, and I think COVID is going to put a rocket up an arse and just be like, and for us, we have so many meetings predicting what's going to happen and how we can stay 2 steps ahead. We're talking production firms. We're talking with, is it better for us to rent tech? Do we need to buy it? How are we going to distribute it to our different cities? There's so much to go through with that. But it's an exciting time. And if LMS UK Media can lead the line in the UK and really get our stance on that, there's no reason why we can't roll that across. And I think people are really starting to wake up to the technology involved in the music industry, because it's an industry that is lacking, in my opinion, compared to retail, compared to recruitment, so on and so forth.
I think that's always been an issue with the music industry in general, because the music industry has kind of always been late to the draw, as the expression were to go. Like back in the early 2000s, you're thinking of like Napster and the music downloading scandals, and then people go from CDs to buying a song on iTunes to now artists getting a fraction of a penny on Spotify, but having an opportunity to get this massive exposure, and massive exposure in not only their market, but in international markets all over the world.
Yeah.
And I think it's this pandemic. I look at it as both a blessing and a curse, in which it's a great opportunity to step back and reflect on what you've done, but it's also an opportunity to regroup and try to figure out how to adapt while you can't do something. Because this industry, as you obviously know, is a very go, go, go industry. Not really any time to stop. You have to keep moving in order to survive, kind of like a shark in a way. But now it's kind of like we're all kind of stagnant. We're all trying to figure it out. Obviously different for you guys, but it's definitely a lot of regrouping and planning and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think if you're a new promoter to this is the worst. It's horrible because you're starting from scratch. You've got less venues, you're less artists to choose from, and it's really hard. It's really hard. I mean, we've have a strong structure and a strong team that stood by us through this time, which has been a blessing. But for a lot of people, it's just not applicable. And people go to me, you're going to have less competition now. And I think, yeah, that's going to be true. But one, that improves us. Two, there's less eyes. And three, there's less venues. And that's definitely not what we want. So it's weighing it up. And we've had a very positive stance on it and concentrating on ourselves, preparing for these first shows back. But that's it. And we've done weekly live shows for IS, which has been great because it means they're still performing, they're still connecting with their fans.
And I think that's phenomenal that you guys have succeeded and grown through this and are finding ways to not only create, but to expand and really show the rest of the UK and also the world that this is possible, that there is ways to do this and there's ways to grow and expand. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our first music break, and we're going to hear a word from our sponsor, Anchor, and then we're going to be right back to talk more with some Josh. So we'll see you in a few.
Started off in late December, fell apart way back in March, found it out in mid-July. How the moments pass you by, it don't last too fast. What you waiting on, what you listening for? Don't you beat around the bush, my love. What you waiting on? Come on, bring back my heart. We will find a way. Don't you turn around today, come on. My love for you is thicker than end, baby, but my mind can't take no more. Oh, will we make it through? Do you sense it too? We will find a way. So come on and pray on us. Pray on us. Pray on us. Hey. I sense the rippling in the waters, felt it tingling through my spine. All their opinions running wild in my mind. You know I did that one time. Can't believe it this time. What you waiting on? What you listening for? Don't you beat around the bush, my love. What you waiting on? Come on, bring back my heart. We will find a way. Don't you turn around today, come on. My love for you is thickening, baby, but my mind can't take no more. Will we make it through? Do you sense it too? We will find a way. So come on and pray on us. Pray on us. Pray on us. What you waiting on? What you listening for? 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 My love for you is thickening, baby, but my mind can't take no more. Will we make it through? Do you sense it too? We will find a way. So come on and pray. We will find a way. Find our way. We will find a way. So come on and pray on us. Darling on us. Darling on us. Darling on us. Come on and pray on us.
All right, welcome back to part 2. Josh, I wanted to talk to you more in depth about social media because that's something that LMS is involved with a fair amount. What are your thoughts on just the different kind of platforms and how you guys use them? Is there ones that work better for you, ones that don't, so on and so forth?
Yeah, for a musician, it's very different. I mean, in the UK, to be looked at by a record label, you need 100,000 streams. Now, before that was only from Spotify sales or sales on their CDs and vinyl or Apple Music, whereas now a TikTok view counts to a stream. So that's changed the whole game because artists that could never get near to 100,000 can perform on TikTok, a site that I've never used before, and get to that number and get signed from a record label and blow up, which was crazy. And I was literally saying to all our artists, I was like, 2 social medias that artists need to be using is TikTok because they count as a stream, and it's as simple as that, and LinkedIn. And people always look at me like, LinkedIn, that's a business connecting site. Like, why on earth would an artist be on that? And I'll tell you why, because they could search, let's say their favorite artist is Drake. And you can go on and you can find Drake's management, Drake's touring company, Drake's sound equipment, his whole team of people and companies that work for him, you'd be able to find. And you can go on LinkedIn, and I promise you, on my profile anyway, in my experience, I reckon I get about 75% response rate, which is crazy. So I'm, messaging people internationally. I'm speaking to the people that do the O2 in London and huge arenas and big shows. I'm asking for advice, questions. Can I have your email? What's a great artist for this venue? And I've got so much back from that over lockdown. I've said to all of our clients that we work with, I've gone, are you on LinkedIn? They go, no, what are we on LinkedIn? I was like, get a music page, go on LinkedIn. You will see such benefits from it. If they're connecting with people and sending, I don't know, 5 messages a day, within a month, it'll be insane. And I always say to them, get 1% better every day. If you get 1% better at marketing yourself on social media every day, the progress you'll make in a year or 2 years will be insane. Insane. And for me personally, my growth, I do that.
So you mentioned LinkedIn and TikTok. What are some of the things, especially for artists that you've dealt with, that you notice that like they aren't doing? Like if they're posting something online that they shouldn't be, or saying something, or not doing something, so on.
I think a lot of artists lack purpose. So they'll just post something. My new single up. Here's my new life up. It's lacking purpose. What's the end goal of this? So this is what I go when I say to artists, you've got a new single out. What's your end goal? And they'll go, oh, I don't know. And then they'll think about it and they'll go, I want to get 10,000 streams on Spotify. I go, okay. So how's you doing an Instagram one post? How's that going to get you 10,000 streams? And they go, it's not really. And then that's when we talk to them about their plan. Like, you've got to be using advertising. You've got to be working with other brands, other promoters or businesses that have a large following. Have you applied for any Spotify playlists? Are you actively going out and connecting with people that are listening to your genre and finding that niche? And their mind just goes, oh, no, I haven't done any of that. And it's like, okay, that's where we need to come in, go, really break it down for you. And I get to the point where I'm like, don't post if there's not a purpose behind it. So if I'm the end user and I'm a fan of your music, why do I want to see this post of you in your record label with a guitar up? I really get them to think through the process of it and, perceive yourself as an expert. A lot of people that I know that work in this industry are brilliant on social media, and then I go onto their personal accounts and there's 2 pictures of a dog and a tree, and you're like, well, you're not going to be perceived as an expert, are you? And that's something I had to work on my personal LinkedIn and my personal social media. I'm really conscious about what I'm posting, and I kind of say that to my artists as well.
So yeah, you mentioned not really having meaning behind what they're doing. Can you indulge in that a bit more?
Yeah. So, for instance, I speak to musicians all the time, and they go, "We want to post once a day, at least once a day, maybe twice a day." And I've gone, right, okay, you want to post twice a day? Why? And they went, because we want to reach as many people, and the more posts we do means more followers, right? And I go, no, not necessarily. And I've just seen some awful socials, and like, you're looking and they're going, we've got great music, we've got great following, no one wants to sign us, no one wants to book us for shows. And I look on their Instagram and it's not adding any value to me. Any value. Someone who loves music, loves loads of genres, and they're still images, they're irrelevant, it's stuff I'm not involved with. I'm just not going to engage with it. I'm not going to like it. I'm not going to comment it. I'm not going to save on it. And it's like, have a purpose, have something you want to get across. If you've got a show coming up that you want to sell tickets for, you're going to have to do teasers. You're going to have to tell them why, talk about the support acts, have a real purpose behind the post instead of you just going, here's a picture of a microphone, I've got a gig at Friday, we're on at 10. It's really simple things like that. And we come in and use our advertising and teach them how we do something called horizontal growth. So I'll have a new artist and we'll make 5 different personas for them. Okay. And we'll go, persona 1 will be in London for 18 to 24-year-olds. Persona 2 will be Manchester, and it'll be an older 30 to 35. And of those 5 acts, we'll put the exact same budget on it. And it will tell us what persona is engaging with your music the best. So when you have this big show on Friday, you need to sell an extra 50 tickets. We know who to target in what city and what area. And we've seen fantastic results from that. Fantastic results.
I've actually haven't heard of anyone using that kind of strategy in determining a demographic. I think that's actually brilliant because you're literally gaining the exact information you need to target exactly who you want in that demographic, both age and gender.
Yep.
And I think a lot more artists, especially a lot of artists that listen to this podcast, should really consider doing that when wanting to gain an understanding and a better grasp on what their music does.
Yeah, it's spot on. But our motto is you make the music, we'll do the rest. Because a musician is made to make fantastic music. but they're not going to be experts in marketing or social media. And of course they can learn, and we'll teach them that. But half the time, artists come to us and go, "I'm good at the music. I'm going to do that. You guys are good at the branding, marketing, and social media. You're going to do that." And together, when you've got good music and you've got the professional backing, that's when we see our success. And we've had artists go on to play the O2 in London. We've had artists get huge record deals that play. I mean, they're not really based in the UK anymore because they're just always abroad doing shows. And it's been fantastic. And it's such a credit to my team because I can sit here and say it's my business and this, but the team we have at LMS UK Media, the difference between a good business and a great business is the people. And if I took a massive step back from the business for 6 months, I guarantee you'll be in a better place than where it is now. And that's the quality of team and management and resources that they have access to.
And I commend you giving your team so much praise and understanding how much skill they have and how well they do their jobs, because I think a lot of people don't really give their people the right not support, but more just praise and appreciation for what they do, because it really does come down to the team and it doesn't always come down to one person. The best analogy I've always used when I've talked to artists is the artist is the one driving the boat, and then everyone else is just trying to help them steer so you don't crash in some rocks.
Love that.
It's the simplest way I can make it come across, because at the end of the day, the song is what matters. The music is what matters, because that's how everyone wins at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's
so. I'm curious, like your thoughts on just social media, because social media has gone through definitely some changes, especially in the past 10 years. And I think a lot more people are becoming aware nowadays of the potential toxicity of social media, not only for mental health related issues, but just a lot of personal issues in general. What are some of your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've saw a fantastic program on it, and it does make you think. Like the way it is let's take Instagram. Instagram's free, okay? So if you're using it and you're not paying for it, you become the product. You're now in the shop window, and they're selling data and they're selling you to advertisers. You become the product. And I think when you look at it like that, it really does make you think, and it creates this world of perfection, and you're not the perfect body, you haven't got the perfect hair, and that's very negative and very toxic. And one of my mentors, Andrew Leese, taught me called cleansing, and he went through his Twitter, and he used to follow just awful stuff like just random soccer pages, football pages, irrelevant things, GQ magazine, and he unfollowed everything. And the only two criteria for he would still follow if you're music related or you're marketing related, and he cleansed his whole Twitter. And that blew my mind. I was like, that's so good. Like that's such a good idea. I've started doing the same. Before, I would just tweet random stuff. I'm a massive football fan, a soccer fan. I was tweeting all this stuff. No one cares. No one wants to know. No one wants to see that. Now I tweet very business, marketing, music related stuff, and I'm really starting to build a following. And the people that I follow tend to be in that realm as well. And it creates such a more positive environment. So when you flip on its head and look at it like that, I would suggest a cleanse. Like if something's making you unhappy, cleanse it, reduce your time on it, or even consider deleting it. The issue is we're in a world now where, especially in the music industry, you're so dependent on it. I mean, I would love to just concentrate on LinkedIn or just Instagram, but I can't. I have to be up to date with Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, everything. But that's my job, and I love my job, so I can't say too much negativity about it.
See, for me, I've always looked at social media as that double-edged sword in which it's a positive and a significant negative that can fuck you over in some way. And like for me, a couple months back, I took like a 2.5 month just social media cleanse. Like I wasn't on anything at all for just a couple months, and this podcast was on hold, and now I've brought it back under this new format. And I think that gave me so much perspective and understanding, because it allowed me to really think about what my priorities were in life. Because the issue I've always had with social media, and like especially something like YouTube, is the amount of things that you can do to distract yourself not only from your reality, but just reality in general, it can be a very dangerous thing. And I think a lot of people don't realize the potential danger in that.
Yeah, yeah, I couldn't agree. And like for me, you've had the 2 month cleanse of just not being on it, which is great. For me, I tend to a bit of a workaholic. I just constantly want to work. So, and that's social media related and obviously music related. So on a Saturday, if I can, I'll turn off all my devices, laptop, phone, whatever, just gone. On a Saturday, you won't be able to contact me, which gives me that time to reflect. I love to read, and just you know rewind a little bit and get that clarity in my head. And then from Sunday to Friday, I work. And that works for me, but it depends on different people and how they react and see it. And if you need to take a step back, I couldn't encourage it further to do that.
No, so for you, taking that one day off is the just the right amount of time to give yourself a recharge or reflection period, just to get yourself going again.
Yeah, for me, yeah. I spend my Saturdays doing sport. I'm with friends or family. Obviously, it's hard now with COVID. At the moment, I'm just reading, and I'm getting so much more value from reading a book on business or marketing or social media rather than just scrolling through Instagram. And a lovely quote that's in them is, use social media or social media will use you. And I've been there. I've been that guy who's just spent all day just scrolling and scrolling to now obviously making money from it. And like you said, it's a double edged sword because hopefully you'll be on the right side of that after listening to this.
Josh, you seem like a very go-getting, motivated kind of guy. I'm curious, touching on that reflection one day off period that you do a week. What are some of the things you do to keep yourself in that keep going momentum, hustle, grind kind of mentality?
Flexibility. I mean, you read so many entrepreneurs saying, get up at 5:30 in the morning and keep going and all that kind of stuff. Every single day, I will work and I enjoy working, but I will allow myself to have 8 hours sleep. I'll allow myself to work out every day. Um, I tend to do I have a massive whiteboard outside my bedroom and my office, and I write down everything I want to do each day. And I don't just include business things on there. I include things that are fun and personal things, and I also include a personal goal. So I can't have that business related. So helping your grandparents decorate a room, that counts. And having something a bit more personal, because when you're on your deathbed and you're looking back on life, are you going to care about you know the major act you've just booked that's going to happen in a year's time, or are you going to care about the things that really made a difference? And that's an important thing I've learned over time, because I've been guilty where I've worked 7 days a week. You get tired, you get overworked, and you're not making good decisions. You're not a good leader or management when you're under that much stress and pressure. So you need flexibility, you need balance. But my issue is I just love working. I love my team. I love the artists we work with. So it is hard to switch off at times, and that's why on the Saturdays I'm really kind of got a supportive network around me, and they know now that turn everything off, unplug it.
So the team knows not to contact you on the Saturday.
They by all means they can contact me, but they know they're not going to get a response. 6 days a week, they could contact me at any time, and I'm picking up the phone, I'm texting, I'm calling. It's never ever a bother. I mean, the second in command, Reese. If you look through our call history, they're not normal hours. They're like extremely late or early. He'll be working late tonight probably. Um, but he can deal with that, and he likes doing that. But yeah, on a Saturday, by all means, email me. But probably not going to get a response. It'll be the next day.
And I once again I commend you for that, because you seem like a young guy. You mind sorry, I can't talk. You mind if I ask how old you are?
Yeah, I'm 22, nearly 20.
Oh my fuck! And you're doing all this. Jesus fuck! All right. I mean, I commend you, man. Like there's not enough guys in your age bracket that do the hustle and push that you're clearly doing, and I truly commend you for that, because what this world seems to be lacking is an understanding of flexibility, but also an understanding of getting what you want. Because I don't know what it is, but there's something about this generation and like later generations now that expect things to fall into their lap, and they want things quickly, which is why, back to social media for a sec, why an app like TikTok has become so successful, because it's all about that retention rate. How quickly can we get someone 1 million followers? How quickly can we get that engagement to keep them going? So I just want to give you praise for that, because the fact that you've figured this out and you figured out this balance and flexibility at 22, and you're still very early in your career, it's truly remarkable. So well done on that. Really well done.
Yeah, thank you very much. And again, it comes from my team. So my team, the part-time people who work part-time may have university, or they may have full-time work or part-time work. What we say to them on a Sunday, they'll have a call on a Sunday evening with their management or with me, and we'll say, right, it does not matter at any point between now and a week, as long as it gets done to a high quality. So for them, they've got a whole week to get a set of tasks done, but they can do it whenever. There's no stress on. I don't care if it's a few hours before the call, as long as it's up to a very high standard that meets the management's need. That's fine, and that's why we have such, in my opinion, little staff turnover, because it works around them. And if they want to take a couple, 2-week holiday, it's fine. We've got procedures in place for management to take over whilst they're away. I mean, it's a really thought out system. I think from that flexibility, you have to consistently improve systems all over the business, all the processes, your systems, how you communicate. We're constantly improving. We've hired an operations manager that is literally her job. How can we do things more efficiently and more effectively? And that's been one of the best investments we've made as a business. It really has.
So I want you to kind of take me through like a day of working at LMS. Like I really want to see what it is from the beginning to the end of the day, just see kind of how your operations are.
Cool. So wake up, you'll do admin in the morning. Today I've got into the office at 9:30, 10 o'clock. I've done my managers, so the people that work full time with me as well. We've sat down, we've had our important meetings for the day, especially on a Monday night. We've got a whole week schedule ahead of us, and we look at what we want to accomplish each day, and who we need to work with, who we need to talk to. And I sit there and not only plan my time, but plan their time. Then in the afternoon I've sorted out a couple of shows, 2 big, 3 small, just communicating with artists, seeing what they want, any standards. We're very kind of professional in all the genres we do. We want to be the best promoter they work with, and we want some consistency in the cities we work in. I've finished at the office with some of my part-time members of staff coming in, and we had a lovely catch up. We're talking about what's going on with them and how I can support them with that. It's 7 o'clock, 10 past 7 now. I've got this lovely podcast with you, Matthew. And then after this, it'll be just reflecting on my day and planning tomorrow, and just a few more admin bits in terms of email and stuff like that. And
do you ever get tired?
Yeah, I do, definitely. But the beauty is that flexibility, because with me and the management team, we don't go, you have to be in the office by 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock. You don't have that. If we've got a meeting, we'll be on time and we'll do that. But if I know Reese is working late tonight, I'm not expecting him to come in. He's already communicated to me, is it okay if I come in at 11? Yeah, absolutely fine. Crack on. And that flexibility, if as long as you're adding value, as long as you're contributing each day, is fine. And that's the way we work, and we've seen fantastic results. And I think that's how we recruit the best people, because I don't see other business offering that. I don't.
No, absolutely. All right, so we're going to take our final music break right now, and then we're going to hear a final word from our sponsor, Anchor, and then we'll be back with Josh for part 3. We will see you in a bit.
Running wild in my mind, feeling like this tonight. All the lies, keeping all the truth away from the good times. Replaced it with a bad, replaced it with a cold. Struggling to make sense from your actions to your words. I'm feeling like this tonight. Holding on to fate, hoping you make it right. So tell me, do you want me to? Do you miss me lying next to you? Or are you feeling better now you finally have your space? Should And I've seen it on your face. You wanted to put your foot down on the brakes. Or do you want to see if we can try again? 'Cause if you want me, then I'll be there for you. And if you want me, then I will wait for you. I'll keep you warm from all the coldness that's inside of you. And if you want me, then I'll be there for you. And if you want, la la la, I'll be there for you. And if you want, la la la, I'll be there for you. Feeling like cool as ice, feeling like this tonight. All the pain running through my veins, I try to relieve it this time. I'm making conversation, people I don't know keep saying it'll heal me, but I still feel alone. I'm feeling like this tonight. Tell me, do you feel it too? So tell me, do you want me to? Do you miss me lying next to you? Or are you feeling better now you finally have your space? Should I seen it on your face? You wanted to put your foot down on the brakes. Or do you want to see if we can try again? 'Cause if you want me, I'll be there for you. And if you want me, I will wait for you. I'll keep you warm from all the coldness that's inside of you. And if you want me, then I'll be there for you. And if you want, la 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 la, I'll be there for you. And if you want, la 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 la, I'll be there for you. So tell me, do you want me to? Do you miss me lying next to you? Or do you want to see if we could try again? Oh, 'cause if you want me, then I'll be there for you. And if you want me, then I will wait for you. I'll keep you warm from all the coldness that's inside of you. And if you want me, darling, oh, and I do you there for you too. Yes, if you want me, then I'll be there for you. And if you want me, oh, I'll wait for you. I'll keep you warm from all the coldness that's inside of you. And if you want me, then I'll be there for you.
All right, welcome back. Part 3 with Josh Robinson of LMS. Josh, I wanted to talk to you about mainly the UK because I know you don't know this because it's the first time we've talked in person, or not in person, over call, I guess. But I have, how do I say this? I have an unhealthy obsession with the UK. I absolutely love the UK. I actually have a lighter. I didn't realize I have my lighter here. It's a Union Jack with the Rolling Stones on it.
What about?
And just, I don't know, the music, the YouTube culture, just the culture in general. Well, because my dad's originally from the UK.
Yeah.
He came over to Canada when he was 8, and just, I absolutely love the UK culture. I'm curious because you've talked earlier about starting to work internationally with different people from different parts of the world. How has that translated culturally? Like, has it been a smoother transition, or like, because I know with the UK there is a bit of a dry sense of humor.
Very.
So I'm just curious how that's kind of carried over.
Yes, it's a very dry sense of humor over here. Yeah, it's been great. I mean, like you said, a lot of the people we work with internationally have so much respect for the UK music scene. And it was only last month I've got my first ever client whose music isn't English speaking. So all the international clients we work with are English speaking. This French artist, who got referred from another French artist we use, and they're only French speaking. And I had some people in my advisors go, "Why have you taken them on? Why would you do that?" And then the honest truth was, one, it was a challenge, and I love a challenge, and that's why I wake up and I want to do really well for them. But two, it's an amazing opportunity for them because they're going to have a whole different kind of application to what they've been doing already. And I don't even want to just expand them in France. I want to look at the countries around France, and they want to do more shows. That's their main thing. They want more shows and make more paid bookings. And it's going to be a massive task for us to do that. But it could be the start of something great and really good. The one thing we have had to climatize to is the time change. So our clients in Australia, we can't call them at our normal times. We have to fit that in through the day, but they're great. They're really understanding about it, and they're brilliant. And it is important for us when we have these personal relationships, have a bit of fun, laugh about it, have a joke, get to know them personally. Our longest clients are people that you'd love to go and have a beer with or a meal with. That's the honest truth. And people kind of do have that preconception of the UK, and it is a dry humour. It is to the cut, to the T a little bit, quite quick off the tongue, and yeah, I guess that's how we are. We've adapted great.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of what the world needs, especially nowadays, because especially here in North America, things are just so goddamn tense, so goddamn sensitive, and like the world's become a lot more sensitive. But what I've seen through my contacts in the UK and just following a lot of the UK as I do, a lot of that hasn't really changed a lot. Like it's still think people are more cautious with certain things. However, it's there's still that dry sense of humor that cuts through, and I think that's kind of what the world needs to adapt, which is a part of the reason why so much of the world, especially in Canada, we love the UK and we love what they do over there, and that's why like my goal is to eventually I want to move over there for at least a few years because I just want to get the fuck out of Canada and go somewhere where I know my sense of humor would translate well over there.
Yeah, you're absolutely spot on. Like, it's almost a culture over here. Like, I don't know. I don't know my perception of other countries and stuff, but the world in general, it seems it is a bit more soft, and it is a bit more people take things to heart a little bit, and you can't go out of line here, you can't go out of line there, and you do need that, and that's evolution, and that's kind of evolving and stuff. But over here in the UK, I mean, you definitely get away with more. I mean, it's to the cut, it's to the T, it's to the point. I mean, the banter you have with friends when I'm friends with people from Turkey, and they're like, "You're saying that to your best friend?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's just how we are. That's just a Friday night for us." But yeah, I'm grateful for being like that because it's probably given me a bit more of a firm skin in business, I'd have to say.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like in the business side of things, anytime I've dealt with someone in the UK, it's always been they are very tough skin, they're very cut and dry, but I think that's better because especially in this industry, and you definitely know this better than anyone, you got to get 1,000 no's before you get one yes,
Yeah,
especially at the beginning of your career. And like having that thick skin, which a lot of artists don't, and I feel like that's why a lot of artists fall off, is because they keep getting that no, they keep feeling like, oh, no one understands, no one's taking it seriously. But everyone needs to understand that not only is there only a select amount of hours in the day, but you just have to keep pushing and keep trying. And like you talking about LinkedIn for artists and coming up with demographic research plans in which you set up campaigns in different areas, like that kind of stuff is stuff that's really, really brilliant. And I think a lot more people should adapt. And also just the general sense of humor as well. Like I love UK comedy as well. So
yeah. I mean, it's just like even the Monday task back in the day, I'd have to call like so many hundreds of artists a day. And I think most people would be like, Jesus Christ, this is horrible. This is, but like we'd put music on or put a show, like have a laugh in between, office camaraderie, and oh, we're looking forward to Friday night and socialising and stuff. Like, it's really common over the UK. The second you finish work, all of your work lot go and have a beer or go and watch some sport together, and just let your hair down. And it's like when I first was exposed to that, I was like, why would you spend more time with people in the office? Whereas now, it's great because I'm working with people I really respect, really intelligent, and I just really like being around them. Like, there's nothing better than us accomplishing something really good at work, and then go to the pub, have a beer, have a laugh, and yeah, it's cut to the T, but it saves time. It's
it's
that
true.
straightforward. Yeah.
Yeah, earlier you mentioned supporting a football team. What team do you support?
Oh, I support Southampton Football Club.
Southampton Football Club.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're my team. That's where I'm from originally, and I live in their arch rival city of Portsmouth, and where our business is based is Portsmouth, which don't tell too many people to. But it's all
I was
fun
gonna
and
say, do you
games.
get a lot of shit or?
Yeah, no, Honestly, school, college, university, and even now, yeah, get a lot of shit for that always. But you can't take your hometown out of a boy, and that's something here. Like I'm very passionate about supporting your local team, whereas a lot of people will just pick whoever's winning the league at the time and support them. I don't know. I like the ride. Southampton will be awful one season, fantastic the next. I'm all here for it. So
Yeah, for me, I've always been fascinated with the general aura around the football culture in the UK, because you guys take the sport very seriously, and just the fans can be very passionate, and just it fascinates me. Like, what are your thoughts on the culture of football in the UK?
for a lot of people, it's their livelihood. It's everything to them. I mean, if you get a bad result on a Saturday, they're still I'm and ahhing and swearing about it 2 weeks later. That's literally how passionate it is. It's not something you switch off from. And then when you get a great result, like you come into work, you're bantering with your friends. Look at that result, and it's not some. I think with other sports and cultures, it's like you'll have a day where it feels great, and then it's back to normal life. Where in the UK, goes on and on and on. Like it really doesn't stop. I mean, it is literally, it's so passionate, it's so loud. I think you look at the sports. If you ever go to a football game over in the UK, the fans are mental, mental, and it's even better the lower leagues you get. Like you go down the leagues, Championship, League One, League Two, and it's madness. Whereas the Premier League obviously is a bit more globalized now, and it's as seen as the best league in the world. So you get, it's probably a little bit more calm, but you go down a little bit, and it's mad, absolutely mad. It's life or death.
Yeah, life or death from the sounds of it, and just some of the cheers themselves. I've heard some of the cheers, and just the cheers just make me laugh every time I hear them.
If you ever get a spare minute and want to cheer up, go on YouTube and just do best football chants. They're hilarious. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, Josh, I want to thank you for taking time to sit down with me and give me some knowledge and a better understanding of what's going on over there. And I hope that I'm glad the lockdown's starting to end. You guys are going to start doing shows soon. Hopefully Canada can start doing the same.
Absolutely. And, anyone that's listening that wants to get in contact with me or with LMS UK Media, I'm more than happy to give you some of my time if you'd like it.
Yeah. So Josh, where can people find you guys on social media and everything like that?
Amazing. Thank you very much.
Everything for LMS is going to be in the description down below on YouTube, or you can go to LMS. You can look up LMS UK Media and find Josh and what his team is doing. Josh, thank you so much for taking the time. I will see y'all next week with another episode. Take it easy. Peace.